What's up, y'all? Sparta here. I want to do a quick discussion video here about if I think LG will play their cards right this time around with the V30 and going into next year the G7. Now, there are a lot of things that I guess I can say that can point to them possibly doing it right. But there are also things, past things that I thought that they would play them right finally, but they never did. And this is something that I wouldn't say is emotional. I would just say it's pretty much, there we go. I would say it's, kind of something that I would want them to actually finally do. Ensures the whole let the underdog succeed moment or argument, but for me it's more than that. To me, I think LG can not easily, but they can catch up to Samsung if they truly try to. I don't feel that they are or have the past couple generations of G or just last generation of V. Because the G2 is cemented as a phone to a lot of people that was LG's best, as I've said time and time again, right? And people don't necessarily think they've got past that phone as far as a not personal, but as far as a best, I guess you can say. And I feel people look at that phone with rose-colored glasses. Because not everything was amazing about the G2, and I love the G2, but it's like the G3 improved on it in some ways, failed at being a successor in other ways. The G4 was, to me, the true successor of the G2 because it didn't have the battery issues or the screen issues that the G3 had, but also succeeded in putting in a better camera. The V10 cemented as being the true phablet line or secondary line to LG's main G line, as being the no-holds-barred video phone or camera phone. Despite what you may say, no, that doesn't have 4K 60, it doesn't have super slow-mo or anything like that. I think those things can be added if LG truly wanted to add them. Samsung doesn't have them either. And people will say, oh, but Samsung is coming out with a, 4K 60 mode for the Note 8. I have yet to see it. And they've said that mainly because of the simple fact that they've come out with, since Apple came out and decided to say, 4K 60 frames per second, and 1080p 240 frames per second slow-mo. And those things don't really matter to me, but because honestly 4K at 30 is more than enough for me. Sure, I would love 4K 60, but it would also mean that I would like to have, better compression so that it doesn't take 8 gigs of fucking space. But there are a lot of things that I feel LG does indeed need to improve on. And to me, what I think like the V30 for me is not a perfect phone. Like, if they had stereo speakers and if they had a stylus, maybe I'd say it's a perfect phone. But even then, the Note 8's not a perfect phone either. And which is why I tend to go to have both the V and the Note as my two flagship phones for a year. But I want to just talk about specific things that I've been seeing on the V30 as of late. And Android Headlines has pretty much reported, I don't know this, I think it came out today, I don't know what day it is right now, but that the V30 screens have been having color balancing issues. And the thing about that is Samsung faces the same thing with their AMOLED displays as well. If you guys don't remember, in the beginning of the year with the S8, S8 Plus, a lot of different people have had different like color tones on their display. And why all of a sudden when LG also has it, they think LG is going to be the one to have that be eliminated. It's a very common thing in OLEDs to have color imbalancing issues. I personally haven't seen that with the Note 8, but I've also seen like color shifting towards the edges of the display. It's not very terrible, but it is very minor, so I don't care about it, but it's there. Like on certain parts of the display, sometimes it'll be like a greenish color or a grayish color on like white backgrounds and stuff like that. It's kind of weird. But as I just said, it has to do mainly with the fact that it's an OLED panel, so they tend to have color balancing issues, which is my main thing for preferring LCD over OLED, but it's whatever. These are growing pains that will eventually be solved. And since these are coming from like Korean units that just come out right now, who knows, 2 weeks from now, those things may not happen. Those things may not even be a thing. But as I said, it's not something that's terrible for me personally, because I'll get used to it. And you could also just change the temperature of your display through what, you know, both Samsung and LG offer. But as I said, these things may be ironed out by the time we get them stateside, but that's pretty much it as far as that goes. But we'll see what happens, as I just said. So another thing I want to talk about is V30 versus V30 Plus. The only real difference there is just storage capacity. Has the same amount of RAM, battery, and everything else. So there's really, if you want the V30 Plus, go for it. I'm personally gonna go for it. I just don't see why they call it a V30 Plus if it just has more storage. But yeah, honestly, that's it as far as what I think. I just hope they actually do good this time, actually market the phone, because I've been seeing a lot of very impressive things about the camera, video capabilities of this phone, and I'm very excited to actually use it. But yeah, that's it. This is Sparta. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Wednesday, whatever day it is in your area. Have a good one. Oh, and one more thing. Detailing what the V30 can do. I've just seen a whole couple videos on it where like a Game of Thrones cinematographer has been using it, it's been praising the camera, and another YouTuber. I forgot the name of the guy, but he compared it against the red camera. Oh, it's right here. I'll find the video and link it in the description, or pin it as the first comment or something. But the YouTuber's name is Parker Walbeck. But as I said, I'll probably pin the link as the first comment, as well as put it in the description. But he compared it against the red, the 8K weapon, the red weapon, the 8K red weapon camera. And it actually is a very interesting look at what the V30 can do. It's very nice. It's very impressive. And as I said, I'll link that in the description, but or as well as a comment. But yeah, from a Game of Thrones cinematographer saying stuff about it, praising it, to somebody comparing it to a fucking 8K camera that's probably $30,000 or some shit. I don't know. Red cameras are fucking expensive, but from those and from both saying that it's a comparable camera, it's very impressive, and that it's pushing the bar in a lot of ways. This is going to be a very hard phone to beat, as far as, you know, just the sheer capabilities of this camera and what it can do for like the average user, as far as allowing you to easily use manual mode without having to tinker with it yourself. But I'll detail that in my own videos and stuff. But yeah, that's it. This is Sparta yet again. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for the support. Hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday.